How was Pies Day? It was the first one in a while.
I didn't do anything. I didn't leave the house for it because
you didn't leave the house.
No, bro. I have too much work, too much college. The walls are closing in on me now.
Well, well, it looked fun anyways from what I saw from other people.
Yeah, because they all went up to Dublin. I'd been in Dublin like last weekend. And I was like, oh, fuck that, man. I'm not going back up there to that hellscape.
Yeah. I was just saying that here because like it's very dead here. Like, I mean, it's like it was literally just Thursday here. There was nothing going on. It was just Thursday. So we like went into some pub. There was a pub that had a few promotions on, like for your first round of beer and your second round is half price. And for some of the worst Guinness you ever tasted in your life.
I would imagine.
It was pretty good though, all the same. Nice to have a bit of Guinness because you just don't order it here because it's like, I know it's gonna be bad, so I'm not gonna order it. But I was like Pies Day, so I was like, yeah, I'll have it. So and fucking hell, man, it was really bad, really bad. But yeah, I went into some pub afterwards and like just like I remember like coming in, I had like one of those green horns and stuff, and I was like blowing it and stuff. I remember coming in and people like sitting at the bar, turning around, looking at me with like just disgust. And
I wonder where he's from.
I ruined their Thursday night pints.
Some of the greatest horseplay of all time.
No one knows over here, so it's okay. In the long run, it'll be okay.
Yeah, easy to escape.
They'll remember me, but they don't know me.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair. But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No One Else's podcast with Cathal and Will. We are here again, Paddy's weekend after Paddy's weekend pod, I think. Didn't really have much effect on me. I mean, I'm flying, Will. I'm tip top shape. You didn't even leave the house, you said.
No, I didn't partake. I was too busy. The walls have closed in, and I have no time for fun anymore. It's all about the podcast.
Yes, it is. Always has been. What are you talking about? Yeah. We're giving this old college try, remember?
Yeah. Try as hard as you can.
No matter what the obstacle, always show up, even if it is, a couple days late. But look, there wasn't much happening here this week, folks. I mean, there was like 3 games on. I had a great week a couple weeks ago in fantasy with triple captain Coutinho, and I think I left Salah as captain this week. He's not even playing.
Yeah.
I've completely fallen away again. It's like 3 games on, and these are actually the weeks that count that matter the most.
This is when everyone falls away. Yeah, this is when you gain the points. But this is my first fantasy season, I think, ever where I've totally given up. I've stopped looking at it. That's never happened before. I've been crushed so badly this year that I haven't come back to it.
Yeah, well, it probably speaks more of you actually have stuff going on for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it so hard all of a sudden? What do you mean Salah's not playing?
We used to just drink all summer long, and then we go back to college or school like, oh, I'm so bored. Like the most important time.
I would know Salah's not playing. I would know Salah's not playing this game months ago if I was still on the ball.
Yeah. You'd know who Crystal Palace's third choice free kick taker is if you were really taking it seriously. That's how you won all those fancies all those years. But yeah, no, from a podcasting point of view, it's not great because there isn't much going on. Thank God for the golden generation of English football because they're not playing anymore, unfortunately. But they are managing, Will.
Oh yeah.
And that was the old debate: Lampard v Gerrard. Could you have them in the same team? Was there a space for the two of them on the pitch at the same time? Now we ask, is there a space for Lampard and Gerrard clips in our hour-long podcast?
Is there space for them to be managers in football?
Because they were given some absolutely amazing interviews after the game. They both lost, one in the league to the mighty Arsenal, Will.
Flying it, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of things popping up, like Arteta's showing Man United what they should have done. This is what you do. You get rid of the bad eggs and you stick with the manager no matter what. Like the same people saying that are the same people who are like, kill Ollie, shoot him out of a cannon.
He's been disgraced, this club. I don't know. I think Gerrard, like we were saying a couple weeks ago, started well and was all this kind of, this is really going well, fell off a bit. Coutinho, really brought things back to, for me as a fantasy manager, Gerrard's real manager.
Thanks, Phil.
But look, Gerrard doesn't like losing ever.
Yeah,
he's well used to it, so he really doesn't like it. Never does, never did, never will. I don't think. He gave an interview after the game against Arsenal, which I've never seen before. I mean, Prickly doesn't even describe it well. I think, but without further ado, let's just play the clip.
Yeah.
That's all we do. It's basically a clip show. Let's just play the clip.
Yeah, it's like a roundup of the clips of the week.
Yeah. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Steve, pick through the pieces of that. It's been a tough afternoon for Villa today, isn't it?
I think it was a tough first half because we allowed it to be tough. I thought we were indecisive in a lot of the things we tried to do. I thought our performance lacked belief. And it wasn't until half-time onwards that we really showed that, we could improve, that we could be much better in the game. But at that point, you're obviously 1-0 down, you're chasing it, you've got to take a few gambles and a few risks that normally you didn't want to do in the original game plan. But we were much better second half. First half, we deserved to be behind. I thought we were second best.
They pinned you back for long periods. I mean, was that you're giving them too much respect, perhaps?
Yes, I think individually and collectively we maybe done that. We wanted to be organised. We wanted them to have the ball in certain areas, i.e. the centre-backs, and go outside our shape. But we set up today to be aggressive and go to work in that shape. I thought we didn't. I thought we lacked a little bit of belief what we were doing. And I thought certain individuals lacked a little belief. So it's difficult to execute a game plan, what you want and how you want it to look, if not everyone believes in it. Second half, I thought we believed in it a lot more. Okay, we went back to front a little bit quicker. We wanted to test the centre-backs and make it a little bit more about their defence second half. But I think across the board we had more belief. We were less indecisive. And on the back of that, we managed to create probably 3 or 4 interesting moments in the game. But overall, we've certainly got no complaints in terms of the scoreline.
I don't think you got a shot on target until right at the death there.
Yeah, that's exactly how I've just described the game to you, though, is it not? Not good enough first half and then improved second half, and we pushed at the end, got some good crosses in, created more interesting moments, and I thought the performance was a lot more positive second half. But well done for spotting that.
Well, since April, I mean, you've made a lot of progress, but you've lost to Manchester City, to Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal, so there is still that gap that you have to close. And
yeah, well done, Des, for recognising that. And if you'd asked me that question, I would say the league doesn't lie, and I'd say that Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, West Ham, Wolves at the moment are ahead of us for a reason, and there's a gap, and that's where we're striving to do. But if we want to take one of them places, we've got to be positive, we've got to believe in it. We can't be indecisive, we've got to go and grab it off them. We've got to go and really believe in what we're doing, keep learning, evolve and get support from up above, and we've got to go and try and grab it off them. But I do like the way you work them things out pretty quick.
And I think you're aggressive in the interview, and you should tell your players to do the same thing.
I tell you what I am in the interview. I'm emotional, I care, I don't like getting beat, and I actually thought your questions would be a little bit more better, in all honesty. No disrespect, Des, I'm not making it personal, but you've just said to me there's a gap to Manchester United, City and blah blah blah. We know that. And you also said we got one shot on target towards the end of the game. That's how I described the game as well.
Absolutely, we both agree on something like that.
Cheers, Des. All the best, fella.
My God.
I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And
I've never seen a manager describe the interviewer's performance directly after the interview.
I mean,
look, it's a bit of a long clip, folks, I know, but I mean, you had to get the whole thing in the context.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked before about like Klopp or Fergie. They did the thing where they turn it on themselves. That didn't feel like that. That felt like he was like, "Fuck you, I hate that." But like, what did he say that was so wrong?
Well, it's mad because I never would have thought Gerrard to be. And this sounds it seems kind of like it's an insult, but like not kind of as analytical as he is. Because he was, he was such a physical specimen, and he used to just lash the ball in, and he was all kind of physicality and speed and pace and power and all that stuff. But like he broke the game down perfectly, and then you was like, yeah. Did you know he never shot on target for the whole game? And he was always like, I just said that in a roundabout analytical way. Where you're not listening to what I said. Well done, Des, for repeating what I just said.
You know what I think it was as well? I think literally the first thing old Des says is he goes, Steve, pick through the ashes of that for a moment.
Yeah.
So I think immediately.
The wreckage or the ashes?
Yeah, the wreckage, I think. It was 1-0.
The pieces. Well, you see, he says something like, picture the pieces of that.
Yeah.
Like, utter. Yeah, he goes back up straight away. Look, like I said, there was a longie in terms of a clip, so I won't play the other clip, but I'll just read the quotes he had about Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
One of the, like we say, the best right-sided inverted wingers in the world right now.
Right.
There's no debate with that anymore, I don't think.
Debate.
I don't think so. Is there a debate? Will we just pause for a second and let the people debate it at home? I bet you can't think of one.
Quick, hurry, think of one. Time's ticking.
So Saka got a few. He's the best player on the pitch. He's obviously going to get some extra attention. Got a few, tough tackles. And after the game, he said, this is Saka said, I wasn't complaining to the ref. I just wanted to let him know that's my game, running at players with pace. And sometimes I need a bit more protection when players are purposely trying to kick me. Saka said in his post-match comments to BT Sport. Gerrard was informed of this. And we just heard what kind of humour he was in with old Des Kelly.
I hope Des didn't inform him.
Incoming sarcasm alert as well, by the way. It's part of the game. The last time I checked, it's not a no-contact sport. I think tackles are allowed. Physicality is allowed. He's a good player. He's outstanding talent, and I love him. But you can't go playing with that side. That's football. I'm sitting here with screws in my hips. I've had about 16 operations. I'm struggling to go to the gym at the moment. That's all on the back of earning a living in English football. He'll learn, and he'll learn quickly.
He's going to kill him. He's going to break his hip.
I'd say if you asked Gerard, is that a threat? He'd probably say something like, "No, it's a promise."
Well, I just said in a roundabout way.
Well done, Will. You just repeated what I've said.
I mean, as well, like that saying something like that. I've got a fucking robot hip and I can't walk anymore. That doesn't come across
his hips. He's a Frankenstein of the hips.
But like saying stuff like that doesn't sound like that's just the game. That makes it sound like the game was bad when you were playing it. It shouldn't have been that way. You can't walk anymore properly. You can't go to the gym. You're like 40.
Yeah, barely 40. I'm pretty sure.
Like that sounds like that's a you problem and like a your players, the people around you problem that they're fucking trying to kill each other every week.
It's like the guy who says, my dad used to beat the hell out of me and never did me any harm. It's like, well, you do want to beat the hell out of kids right now, so maybe it did do a bit of harm. Like if it's a continuing vicious cycle, maybe it's time to stop it. I mean, it was up to Gerrard, seemingly,
That's football. I don't want you going to the gym when you're 38 or something.
Yeah, that's the price you pay to earn a living in English football.
Here's a theory. Now, what do you think of this, Carl? So he said there, he let slip that he's struggling to go to the gym at the moment. He's probably hurting. Do you think maybe he just has a creatine overload and he's just boiling with anger?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, as long as you're taking the appropriate the amount, you shouldn't have any side effects. No, I mean, I don't know. I think there was a bit of the Lampard in him as well. A bit of kind of, listen, if some people want to buy into the game plan, not much I could do, is there? But he seems like Lampard is more kind of like not angry, disappointed. Gerrard seems furious, disappointed, and filled with murderous intent.
It was 1-0. Could you imagine if they got hammered like 4-0? I think he would have punched Des.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to injure him after a 4-0, to be honest.
No.
But like you say, the other golden generation midfielder, who's underperforming a lot more than Gerrard is as manager. Frank Lampard also had a game where he managed his team, and they actually did lose 4-0. Well, funny you should say that, because Lampard did actually have a game where he lost 4-0 in the FA Cup.
Yep.
And no surprise really, but we play the clip anyways because again, it's a clip show. You know what it is, folks. If you're tuning in, if you're a long-term listener, you know what's coming next. A Lampard clip.
There's only so much you can keep trying to butter someone up to give them confidence. There's a balance of confidence stroke. We're playing at the cutthroat end of football here. This is a quarter-final today to get to Wembley. And if you haven't got the confidence to play, then you can quickly flip it and say, have you got the bollocks to play? Sorry, excuse me, but I can't. That's the football reality. And if you fall somewhere in the middle, then don't worry about it, because we didn't play that badly today, and Palace didn't play that well today, and we lost 4-0 because of a lack of confidence and a lack of what I just said. So, wasn't tactics. Tactics showed in the first 20 minutes. Palace couldn't get out of half. So when you do things right within that structure, you'll be all right. If you can't be clinical in front of goal, you won't score goals. You won't feel like you're going to score goals. If you allow people to stroll into your box and finish with ease, they'll finish with ease. So, real basics.
That was all like in the space of a minute.
Yeah.
Like, just
That's a 7-minute video. I bet it's chocked full of quotes like that.
Someone has a nicely timestamped here.
Yeah.
As well. It was like just like primitive, but that was the bollocks one. I mean, like we were again a couple weeks ago. We were saying, Roy Keane doesn't actually give any analysis. He just kind of says about bravery and heart. This is United. That is on a par. I mean, players don't have the bollocks for my tactics, which are perfect, by the way.
It wasn't the
which
tactics.
Are infallible.
We lost 4-0, but it wasn't me.
Have you got balls? Have you got hair on your balls?
Did you see the first 20 minutes? They couldn't out their fucking half. That was all me, baby. All Frank.
Shut up, you hairy ball prick!
It's incredible.
I mean,
when you said that, absolutely, if we wouldn't ask them more, I thought, all right, well, that's kind of, that's not, we're a bit kind of over the top sometimes, but that's, even for us, surely he'll last
he's got 8 days, baby.
It's as if he's trying to get sacked, these kind of comments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tried and tested method. You're under the cosh, everyone's against us, Klopp does all the time, Ferguson used to do it all the time. You don't say, hey, it's not me out there.
If you let somebody walk into your box and shoot, they're going to score. If you, not me.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, if you want to let people score on you easily, then guess what's going to happen? They're going to score on you easily. I can't do anything about that. As a clipper, I didn't play, but I missed this. That was where I tried to play at the start. Talking about like, I can't go in and change people's resilience.
Yeah, it's a challenge because it's been here. The issue of it, I think, has been here quite a long time before I got here. And I don't have a magic wand to get inside people's heads and change resilience across the whole squad. So that's a work in progress. The difficult thing for us is that we don't have lots of time in terms of the league to do that. So when you see a lack of consistency in a resilient looking team on Thursday and then less so today, my job title is quite vast as a manager, but to get inside their heads and change that with a flick of a switch is not possible. So we have to just keep working on that one. As frustrating as it is for me, as frustrating it is for the 4,000 fans that travelled down or people watching, that's one we have to fight against.
Is that not literally his job?
Literally, you're going to manage what you have. I mean, people say like, great players don't make great managers kind of thing sometimes, but like, you would thought surely Lampard was like a great leader.
Yeah,
but I think leadership and management is very different. Like, I don't like say Lampard was hugely consistent for Chelsea. Would always show up in big games, score goals, or when they needed a goal. Like, you'd be playing against Chelsea, the ball would be cut back behind you, and you wouldn't even have to turn around to know that Frank Lampard is giant in the spot there. He's about to lash it in the goal, and he used to do it consistently. But and that's the thing. You can follow that example, but I wouldn't say he was the kind of guy talking in the dressing room. I wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't say he was convincing anybody else to do anything else. That was probably more Terry and Drogba, and Cech was a good speaker as well. I just don't think he ever developed that skill set of bringing people with them. Like, he would go out there and do it, and people would say, "Yeah, fucking, I'll die for Frank Lampard because he'll show up for me." Yeah, but he just does not have these management skills at all.
It's like I think when you're playing with players like Drogba and Terry, and he's like, they all just got it. Why can't you? It's because they're all freaks. Like, they're freaks of nature. Like, not every team is like that. That's from years of having managers like Jose fucking hammer that into their heads. They didn't just like start feeling like that. That's good management along the way led them there. Where he's like, why don't you have it straight away? I don't get it.
Yeah, I just don't know why you let him go past you so easily. Because, I mean, if you want something to go past you easily, you have to go past you easily. I mean, I can't make it clearer than that. Like, he was the opposite of Gerrard. He was so, like...
Hey, ask me any question you like. They're all fair.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know. I think that was the FA Cup, and they have a bit of a break now. But, yeah, I think that's the only thing you're absolutely going to fall down on, Will, is that there's any games for the next 8 days.
But that's when managers get sacked.
It could be. Yeah, well, that's true. That's what.
Although I haven't heard. I think it's still. If it was like if he had joined a month earlier, I think maybe now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just too soon. Still, that the international break. It's more of a give him time to figure it out rather than this is our chance to get rid of him one, which it probably should be.
Yeah. And also, can I say it's not related, but I mean, he looks like shit.
He looks stressed,
wrecked.
Yeah, wrecked.
People used to comment on how bad he used to look, but that was, I think, people remembering him in
the baby face assassin.
Really,
and now he's like in nearly 50, I think.
Yeah, and he did obviously age a bit. Like, it's a stressful job, no doubt. But like Frank Lampard, you can remember him on TV like last year.
Yeah.
And he looked like, much better. He looks absolutely just
worn
distraught
down
all the time. He's so pale. Because I remember, I don't know, it was a while ago now, but it was one of those debates about like, the money in football and the money that players are getting paid. And it was like about Gerrard and Lampard's generation, I suppose, of like, why would they go into football management when the money they've made from the game, like, why would they go back into it after, retiring with all that money? And like, this is like, I don't know why they are, but like, why would you go into management when you're already rich? It's like the stress and the lack of control you have if you don't have the skills to manage a team of people. It must be just absolutely devastating for people like Frank Lampard.
It tarnishes the legacy a bit as well. Like, I don't remember now when I think Lampard, I think shit manager. I don't think amazing.
Well, yeah, recency bias will tell you. Yeah. It's like, we'll talk about now in a quick second, but Ancelotti, you ever see those clips of Ancelotti scoring screamers for AC Milan? It's like, geez, you like no one of a certain generation anyways thinks of him as a great player, think of him as a great manager, but like, good that he's a good manager because that's all you remember him as. So I don't know, but speaking of good managers, and we took the piss out of him at the start of the season because it was Ancelotti and it was Coleman, two former Everton managers we were calling at the Classico. In light of what's happened at Everton, Ancelotti probably did a pretty good job there, honestly.
He was flying it. They were like, it's time to push on when he left.
Yeah, and look what's happened since. He was, like you say, of course, managing Real Madrid in the Clasico this week, and an embarrassing loss. Will it genuinely was embarrassing. I watched that game, and Barca, like, not to sound like Frank Lampard, but Barcelona weren't even that good. Okay, they beat us 4-0, but they weren't even that good. Like, Pedri was unbelievable. Like he's so good. Now look, Madrid were missing Benzema up front, who's been in unbelievable form this year, and the whole thing seemed to kind of not click without him. They didn't play with a striker; they played with Modric and Vinicius kind of up front, in kind of two false nines, I guess, or whatever. But it didn't kind of work. But again, the midfield, they were all over them. Barca just played with these tactics where they would press high, and when they would lose the ball, they would just, like, there's 3 or 4 times where Barcelona literally grabbed the hips of Real Madrid players and just pulled them back in the middle of the pitch. And like, there was like one yellow card, and Real Madrid were going mad. What is going on? And the refs, I don't know what, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this kind of just blatant fouling. I don't know what I should do. Is it sending off? And he just totally shit the bed at times. So, Barca won. I mean, Aubameyang scored twice. He could have had, I'd say, definitely should have scored one of them. He had another chance to score. He could have maybe had 3, possibly 4. Every time they went forward, they just cut through Real Madrid, and it was like, how is this team 15 points clear at the top of the league? I mean, if this is the aching old Barcelona who don't even pay their players, how are they destroying them like this?
Yeah.
And in the end, like I say, it was embarrassing because Barcelona completely took the foot off the gas. And then I think they switched Alaba to left back, and he was like going down that left wing, and Barca's kind of like, it doesn't really matter though. I mean, you're not going to score 4. And they didn't even score 1. So it was kind of like just like toying with their food at the end. It was like, they still lost 40 at home in the Bernabeu. It was really bad. So obviously, Ancelotti's going to be asked after the game. Do you think he blamed the players? Do you think he threw them on the bus?
Not a chance. There's no way.
No, he's because like I say, he's not in this game long enough. He's in this game long enough to know that's just not what you do.
Yeah. Especially when you're sitting top of the table still. Like, don't blow this.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the luxury of being top of the table too probably helps. Yeah, after the game he said, "We have not been recognisable. Everything has gone wrong. I've told the players that it was my fault," said Ancelotti. Straight away.
Clever.
Let me just get first thing clear.
What an amazing week
we were in
football.
Unrecognisable and all wrong. And let me tell you this, it's my fault. Put it on me, right? Don't blame the players. He said, "We suffered a loss, tried to start with high press, but Barcelona found spaces, controlled possession, and it was a very difficult night. It's hard because it's a classico, because losing against Barcelona hurts. You have to be calm, recover the injured. We're sorry, but don't have to make a drama." Beautiful. That's just like...
Yeah, that's how it's done.
When they're doing their coaching badges, that should be,
yeah.
one of the modules, Ancelotti interview style after the game. Because, I mean, that's exactly how you do it. You come out and you say, listen, it's not that big a deal. Obviously, it's bad to lose Barcelona, but, we move on. We move on to the next game. It's like, they say, like for economies, like it's obviously more complicated. There's a lot more variables. But like, when things are going well, you kind of keep people's feet in the ground. Don't go crazy. Yeah. And when it's going bad, you go, come on, get out there, spin. You got to kick start the thing. Football manager's the same thing. I think Carlo Ancelotti would make a pretty good Minister of Finance. Yeah, honestly. I think he'd be able to manage the expectations.
Lampard would be sunk.
Lampard would be,
we're broke. We're going broke.
He'd be telling us we're living beyond our means. This is your fault. Hey, I didn't spend your money for you, did I? That's exactly what he'd be doing. And someone who maybe wouldn't be a good Minister of Finance either, Xavi Hernandez. Do you want to say what he said after the game?
Yeah, I'd imagine he was quite happy.
Maybe we can say we're back.
Oh, no.
Xavi said in his post-match press conference.
No.
This is the path to follow. This is the way we want to play. It was a complete performance. We were much better than Madrid. We played almost as the home team on their ground. I mean, a picture of, you look up at bullish form in the Football Manager dictionary. There's this quote beside us. That's an example.
I mean,
will I go on?
Oh yeah, definitely do.
We could easily have scored 5 or 6. We changed the negative dynamic of losing the last 2 Clásicos. It's a day to enjoy, not only as a Barca manager, but also as a fan.
Oh man. Like I was saying,
I don't know if we can. Sorry, just a bit more.
He just keeps going.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but like, I don't know if we can win the title. We can't rule anything out.
Oh
Maybe
no,
we're a bit late, but this is a very big win for us.
Oh no,
we've won, and we also have had the better head-to-head record against Madrid, which determines who wins the title if both teams finish level on points. But it's going to be very difficult. So he's already mathematically mapped out, well, I'm just saying, if it was a case that we could close the 12-point gap, we'd be in a pretty good position to win it because of the head-to-head.
Blown it. Because if there's one thing that Barcelona team needs, it's to inflate their egos.
Oh, yeah. They're already enormous egos.
Yeah. Did you see them after the game, like Xavi meeting all the players and stuff? And it looked like they had just come back from a war. Like they were so happy.
Yeah. No, I saw a few different things. Like the Barca players are dicks. Like they've not been humbled at all.
Yeah.
There's a clip of what's your man's name? The centre back who used to play for City, Eric Garcia. Yeah. Essentially not wanted at City. Like 4th, maybe 5th choice, depending on who else was there. Only signed to Barcelona on a free because they couldn't afford anybody. And after the game, he was shouting at Vinicius. Oh, Ballon d'Or next year, is it? Next year, Ballon d'Or, yeah? Yeah, let me know how that goes for you.
Who said that? Who's saying that?
I don't follow Spanish football close enough. Maybe there was kind of murmurings about that. Maybe people was like, yeah, he could be like, if you were to pick, it's one of those things like, you go, oh, picking the England team for Euro 2045, and you pick the best 16 or whatever it is. Maybe someone was like, yeah, Vinicius, if he keeps progressing in the next couple of years. I'm assuming it was probably something as like, throw away as that. And Garcia was like, yeah, suck on these.
Yeah. You've lost this game, therefore never happening.
But like after one, like they're still 12 points behind the league, and you're shouting at him about Ballon d'Ors that he may or may not have claimed might win in the future. I mean, just like,
did you see Aubameyang pull out a Dragon Ball for his celebration? It's like, why are you bringing that to the game?
Yeah, well, that goes back to Tony Kroos took the piss out of him years ago. Where he used to wear the Spider-Man mask.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's a bit lame. That's stupid. Just score the goals, move on." He's a German, that's how they operate. Yeah. And Aubameyang was like, "That was for a child in hospital or something like that." And Tony Kroos was like, "Well, I didn't fucking know that, And I was like, "Forget about it." So you knew what if he scored in that game, he was going to pull out something wacky to say, "Yeah, take that, Tony Kroos." Whereas Tony Kroos, I'm sure, still going again. Didn't know about the terminal child. I just thought. Maybe I should have said anything, but I'm sorry. But yeah, so some weird beef there. But I mean, he's a clown, man. Yeah. And like he owns it, not in a bad way. He's that's the kind of guy he is. You saw what's it? Yeah, sorry. Well, you saw Dani Alves's tweet after the game.
No, what did he say?
Did you? They're letting us dream of the Liga, and dreaming is free. Yeah. Hell yeah, baby.
They are literally fucking two wins away from, I don't know, what kind of old Barca player would be a pundit now? I don't know, say Puyol or someone. They're 2 days away from a Puyol type character being like, give him a lifetime contract, sign it up, we're back, baby. It's only up Premier. It's the exact same.
And Gerard Piqué simply tweeted, "We are back." Yeah,
they're still broke.
They're still broke, Will, but things are open up again. I mean, it was a full house in Madrid last night. And like, look, it was obviously tough at the top for the big money teams during the pandemic. It seemingly was tougher at the bottom for all those Spanish teams because no one else has seemed to
put a foot in. Yeah.
Put a foot in. Like Real Madrid, they like I said, I think they were 15 points clear. I think they're 9 points clear of Seville now in second.
Seville, though, not Barca. Like they're miles ahead of Barca.
But Barca are in third. They're like a couple points behind. I mean, they'll definitely get top four at this point. This is like Barcelona who were broke and finished and weren't paying their players, and they're still going to comfortably get top four. So I think it's probably trickle down. The shit has trickled downhill in the other Spanish teams. So, but like I said, that Real Madrid team, Hazard didn't make it off the bench. Bale didn't make it on the bench. They had you remember, man, Luka Jovic, I think. He signed for. He was maybe the next big thing. Like a couple of years ago, he was on the bench. Didn't play him. Like it's not a good Real Madrid team in terms of like their own best teams or like the teams a couple of years ago that won the Champions League. Like it's the remnants of that old team plus failed signings, and they're miles ahead. So I mean, it doesn't take much for Barcelona to be back. They get a few match day revenues. They're good. I think
second is back enough.
Once they're second, it's all good. I mean, they're usually first or second. So I mean, from where they were, where we said this could be the end of Barcelona. I mean, I'd probably take this as a Barcelona fan right now.
And I don't know. It's starting to seem that there's a chance Messi could be coming back. Did you see all that stuff? Well, obviously, he's having the worst time of his life at PSG. But apparently, there's been talks with like the Barca president and stuff for like a much, much cheaper Messi now that he's seeing life on the outside, where things aren't so well. So I could definitely see him coming back. And then if he comes back, I know he's older and stuff, but he's still Messi. And I think a Messi in good form is still fucking unplayable sometimes. So they could easily be back quite quickly.
I'd imagine he probably is missing Barcelona is part of the kind of the downturn this year. I mean, obviously he's superstar, global superstar. And I'm sure he has a team of maybe 50 people around him that he never even sees, and that's probably part of their job is not be seen, that he has to live this kind of in his own head normal life of like, oh, I'm just a family man, I go to work and I'm home. But then we went to PSG and they're like, yeah, we're giving you all this money so that you can make us loads of money by being in the camera, and the people around you are not going to be in the shadows. I don't think he likes that at all. Even though he was living that for a long, long time, he was given the illusion that he wasn't. Yeah. Like, obviously, Ronaldo's had the same thing, but he, never made any kind of, issue of it. He doesn't mind that at all. Mm-hmm. I think Messi likes the whole kind of, having to sell himself to to earn his keep, I guess, essentially. Yeah. And then, you couple that with bad performance as well, and it's just like, oh, God, this is not what he wants to do. So he'd love to, I think, go back to Barca and his relative obscurity of just being I'm just a kid from Barcelona. That's just playing my hometown club. Whereas at PSG, he's gone full superstar Messi, and I don't think that's his scene at all. It never has been. So,
and at Barca, it was always like, get the ball to Messi. Like, everybody, get the ball to Messi, he'll do something magic. Or at PSG, it's like, get the ball to Messi, or get the ball to Mbappe or Neymar, and someone will figure it out along the way. Like, it's not the same thing. You can't have that many superstars waiting to get the ball to do magic when there are other 10 players tracking back and all that stuff. Like,
no, I mean, I think if he was to go back, it'd be a different version. It couldn't be the same Messi as we saw in 2020, because it's the same as when Aubameyang left Arsenal. Yeah. It's like Aubameyang is obviously still a good player. It's not like he's finished, but like he was taking space of, say, Smith Rowe or Saka or Odegaard, which is like, that's just a better system of a team rather than give it to Aubameyang and let him take 4 shots and score 2 of them maybe, or score none of them or whatever. So if Messi goes back, I think he'd probably be a sub, and you don't get in the way of Gavi and Pedri's development, because Piqué says they're back, but Piqué isn't back. Piqué is at the end. Barca as a club are back, and he's going to have to give way to the likes of Eric Garcia and Pedri, and that's who's back. That's the future. But like, if Messi comes back at 35, 36, you can't have him. All right, back to 09, 010. It's like, no, like that time has come and gone, and you have to kind of move on. So maybe he won't come back at all. Will, who knows?
Yeah, I was just thinking lately that I could definitely see. So, do you think that Barca still are in the Europa League, aren't they? They won that game against Napoli.
No, they got knocked out. Remember?
Oh, did they?
That's why Ferran Torres was crying.
Never mind, Mike. No, that was only the first leg when he was crying. I don't know if they won the second leg.
No.
Let's look that up.
This isn't a Europa League podcast, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. And speaking, look, this is a very kind of manager-based episode. So why don't we move on to one of the best managers in the world, Chris Coleman?
Yeah, for sure. Easy.
Atramtos.
Clear.
Chris Coleman is clear of whoever the fuck is managing Apollon Smyrni. Yeah. Because we have condemned them, Will. We've condemned them in the league. We played them in the first round of the playouts. Mm-hmm. We're in the playouts. The playoffs are the good ones. We're in the playouts. Which is what they call over here. So we played Apollon Smyrni the first game. They're 8th. They're bottom. Mm-hmm. So this was a huge game. Huge game. This is one you got to win. They're trying to drag us back in. We have now mathematically condemned them to, at worst, immediate relegation. At best, the playoff. Oh. They're playing the team coming up. Which I was thinking about it, it's very like a kind of a Greek myth kind of thing where like it's like for the team coming up, like you battle through like the 10 circles of hell, and then you have to fight some condemned beast one more at the gates to get into one more thing. Like, there's always an extra obstacle in those Greek myths. So that'll be the fate of Apollon Smyrni at best if they can drag the Mia down to the depths of hell.
I was thinking this about the playouts. Here's a bit of a flaw.
Yeah.
So after one game, they're done. They're pretty much out. How many more games are left? 7?
They have 4 games left.
So, but like, surely...
No, sorry. No, 6 games left. 6 games, sorry.
So by the time, like, say the last 3 games are happening, surely the relegation is sorted and there's just teams playing each other for no reason.
There probably will be a few dead rubbers, I'd imagine. I mean, is that right? Actually, if they were on 13 points, if they win the next 7 through 21 points.
They've got to be. They're way down there.
No, but they could get out, actually. Oh, fuck, scratch the whole thing. Damn. No. Last year when we did Turkey, I felt like we were way more on top in like half a season we were there. We understood way more.
Well, it was just simple.
Every time I go and look at this, it's just like reading base things like how many games left. I did the maths completely wrong there. I counted up 4 games because that's what it says here on the thing. That's their next 4 games.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, forget about that. Scratch all that. Paul and Smitty are still in it and we could still go down.
Oh no.
Yeah. But listen, a great start. Did you watch the game?
I did not. I was following along on our beloved Atramatos Instagram though. All their posts, their stories.
We watched the highlights.
Yeah,
just so
put them on.
There's drama.
Oh well, yeah.
Let me share the screen.
I'll also say, I know we said never look back, but I did the unwritten rule and looked back. Did you see where our old club Guztep are at the moment?
Champions League spots, perhaps?
Opposite. Relegation zone.
No. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Okay, right. This Champions League here. There's also never any interviews I can find with Chris Coleman. I can't find any interviews with them. And I watch him on the stream. It always cuts off with interviews. I'm like, fuck me, I'm here for the fucking thing.
Yeah, I want to know what he's saying.
Ο Χαρίσης, η κόντρα, ο Σλίβκα έχει την κίνηση του Ντάουντα στο όριο του offside. Πάσα στην πλάτη της άμυνας. Ο Ντάουντα γυρίζει out.
That was one of the best chances of the game.
Offside.
And a half chance at best.
Εκεί είναι και ο Σλίβκα. Η σέντρα για τον Ντάουντα, ο Ιωαννίδης.
It was a fucking terrible game.
I was going to say, we're very lightly under the cosh here.
That was one of our highlights.
Oh my God. You can see why it's the play outs, not the playoffs.
Yeah, you tell me.
Καλή δουλειά ο Ντένιτς. Και ο Κουλούρης γυρίζει για Άλιμπεκ. Ο Κιβρακίδης. Ο Άλιμπεκ θέλει να φέρει την μπάλα στο αριστερό. Καμία παράβαση, λέει ο Κορέα. Μουνίθ. Κουλούρης. Βγάζει ωραία την μπάλα, το σουτ, πέρασε κόρνερ. Έχασε την μπάλα ο Κότσαρης στο 55.
Let me just check my emails real quick.
Λίβκα.
Watch this live, so.
Πάσα για τον Κλωναρίδη, ανέβηκε ο Κουλούρης, γύρισε ο Κλωναρίδης.
Holy shit. Oh my God, this is
I watched the entire 90 minutes of this on Saturday. Yeah.
76. Και έχει φέρει την μπάλα ο Σλίβκα
στο δεξί.
Και πάτησε περιοχή. Ο Μαρτίνες στο σούτι κόντρα κόρνερ. Στο μαυρομάτι.
Definitely. Who's marking him?
Ο Ναμπί γυρίζει, ο Κότσαρης διώχνει.
Awful decision, awful execution.
Κάστρο, Ντεντάκης έκανε σέντρα.
You tell me at the bottom of this league, can't you? Like a free header.
Ο Σλίβκα θέλει να βγει από τα μαρκαρίσματα. Η εκτέλεση, ο Ρόγνε διεκδικεί την κεφαλιά. Μπλοκάρει ο Γανιώτης. Ο δυνατός στον αέρα στο 84. VAR. Ο Μπόγναρ θεωρεί ότι υπάρχει πέναλτι, γυρίζει πίσω τη φάση. Πέναλτι στον Απόλλωνα, αυτό θα δώσει. Εκεί πάει για να δώσει πέναλτι για τον Απόλλωνα στο 86. Ο Παμλίδης, το πιάσε ο Γιαννιώτης.
What a save!
What
a bloody save!
You can't go crowd the keeper and pat for that.
Oh my God! Are you doing that in? You
That's the worst penalty I've ever seen.
Ο Σλίβκα έχασε, Καστεγιάνο, Έρλινγκμαρκ.
Olingmark, baby, Olingmark.
Ο Καστεγιάνο.
Yeah!
Πάλι στο τέλος του 92. Λύτρωση για τον Ατρόμητο.
Who else, man? Who else but
Φινάλε
Koulibaly?
Gerard νεύρα στο Περιστέρι, το 12ο γκολ του Κουλούρη στο 92.
That's a good finish. That's actually a good finish.
Good finish, but fucking hell, what's that defender
But the ball
doing?
played behind him. He's like, what the fuck? Just give me fucking, Yeah.
Oh, what a game. Exhilarating.
Yeah. So it was an absolutely terrible game, which you get in this is a huge game. Where There's never going to be open, expansive stuff, partly because of the ability on show, but also because of the
repercussions.
The magnitude of the game.
Yeah.
Too much at stake. There was the penalty shout, which honestly, harmless penalty, followed by an even harmless penalty taker with the worst penalty I've heard. Actually, probably the worst penalty I've ever seen in my life.
It was way up there, yeah. He passed it to the keeper.
I mean, he passed it.
You hit
what
it.
Was the plan?
The whole rule of penalties and what everyone says, just lash it. Don't think about it. He thought about it loads and went, he's going to expect me to lash this.
Low and hard, that's the tried and tested method. If you're going to do Panenka, do Panenka. Yeah. He did the opposite. He went low and soft and rolled it to the keeper. Yeah. What was he? Do you think? I mean, look, if he dives left, fine. But even still, it was such a bad penalty. He may have dived left and got up in time and still got to it.
He did. That slow he dived high to save high and it landed and then saved the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're describing a penalty that literally only the two of us have seen listening, but I asked you to watch it. So if you watch it, that's on you.
That's on you. We can only do so much.
Listen, the homework is fine. Don't blame the homework. I can't go into the listeners' minds and make them watch the homework with.
Yeah.
Okay, I give it to them. That's all I can do as a podcaster. I can't do any more than that.
Is this what it feels like being a teacher? Down. This is what I felt like being a teacher when, if we were asked, did you do the homework? Like, oh no. You would be like,
no,
what the fuck? Why wouldn't you?
This is what it feels like being a struggling Premier League manager, Will.
That's true, yeah.
With shit players that you can't manage. That's exactly what it feels like.
I didn't say I don't watch the penalty.
Yeah. So look, a good start. Too small, Lan Hibre. But a long way to go. 7 more games to go, not 4, as I previously thought. But yeah, that's the team we want to beat. If we beat Lamia as well, I think we're as good as safe, Will, honestly.
That big run at the end of the season really saved us. Chris Coleman's run turned us around.
Third manager in the year, you say that team's not staying up, but they didn't watch Sunderland Till I Die, I guess.
Everton could learn from the third manager in a year thing. That might work.
Yeah. Well, I know you're trying to influence your absolute here. That's not strictly against the rules, but it's morally maybe questionable, Will. So if you want to use the massive influence of this podcast to win a little game between you and I, do so. But it's on you. If you can sleep at night with that, then be my guest. But speaking of sleeping well at night, we have some FIFA news.
Yeah.
Euro 2028, Will. We have got it.
Yeah, all ours. I was sharing it.
Sharing it with Scotland, Wales, and them across the water in a joint bid for 2028 by default. No one else has made a bid.
No one wanted it.
Default! Woohoo! The 2 sweetest words in the English language.
No one wants this.
That makes me think it's a bad thing.
I'm trying to think of the last time England hosted a final of an international tournament. I'm trying to think how that went. I can't.
No memory.
No, I don't remember how it went. But it's probably fine. I'm sure it'll be fine again. I'm sure they'll grow up in the next 7 years of that.
Yeah.
What is it? 7 years from now? It's not 7 years from now. It's 6 years from now.
6 years.
2022, 2028. Do you think we'll still be doing the podcast?
I think we'll be doing the podcast live from the Euros, from our VIP box.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That's a silly question. Of course we'll still be doing the Euros. Why wouldn't we still be doing this podcast?
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before.
Shut up, you hairy bald prick!
Nonsense. Fucking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? What would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you Why are you talking rubbish?